Okay, so three glands, and you already saw this guy. Does anybody know this guy's not one person today knew who this guy was, which is fine, but your parents would all know who this guy was. Before Rotten Tomatoes, wait, you know? You know? Do you know? Okay, before Rotten Tomatoes, before IMDb, like you had to like, how would you know if a movie was good other than like your friend went and saw it and told you about it? Okay, there was this show called At the Movies with Siskel and Ebert. Okay, these guys, ask your parents if they know Siskel and Ebert. Literally, when you would like decide if you're going to go see a movie, you wouldn't check the internet, of course. You'd go to a newspaper, open up the newspaper. There'd be a cool, like, big movie poster, okay, like Star Wars, okay, and then it would give you all the theaters. Like I lived near Muncie, Indiana. That's where we would go. And at the bottom, it would tell you the times of the movies, and then it would give you like little like quotes. And Siskel and Ebert were always on there, unless they hated the movie. These were the guys that like said either the movie's thumbs up or thumbs down. They trademarked that. Okay, and this guy Roger Ebert, okay, was one of the main dudes. Okay, with his pal Gene Siskel. Their show, they would sit in this like empty theater and they'd talk about the movie and they would argue, and then at the end they would say they're two thumbs up, either a thumbs up and a thumbs down, or two thumbs down. And really, they did dominate the box office. So, like if you got two thumbs down, you know, the movie people would never like tell you that, but if you got two thumbs up, it was going to be gold for you. He was diagnosed with a cancer in his salivary glands, that submandibular. And if you look right here, okay, they had to remove his entire mandible because it went into his bone. That's ended up what killed him. Okay, but yeah, for a long time, he could not even talk. Now, I don't know. I need to look up his. Someone asked me if he was a smoker, if he chewed. My guess is yeah, but I don't know for sure. Okay, yeah. So you have this parotid one off the side, and that's pretty big. Saliva's coming out of that. It's right there. So remember, we got our angle of our mandible. Okay, that ramus kind of comes up here by our ear. Of course, the body goes out here towards our chin. So in that body, that's where we'd find the submandibular duct. But the one that most people know is the sublingual. Okay, and maybe you know this because of gleeking. Does anybody know about gleeking, and have you ever gleeked before? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. I can't do it unless it's an accident. Sometimes I'm talking, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I gleeked. If you don't know how to gleek, here's a video that will tell you how to do it. And so watch this and let's talk about it. How to gleek.
How to gleek. Silently send saliva flying with a flick of your tongue, with no one being the wiser. You will need a roll of tart or sour candy, saliva, and tongue flexibility. Optional, yawning. Step 1. Suck on a piece of tart candy to stimulate saliva flow. Get a roll of tart fruit candy or other sour candy so you have plenty to practice with. Yawning is also a good technique to generate saliva. Step 2. Make your mouth into a small O shape and take a deep breath in through your mouth. This will help saliva collect under your tongue. Step 3. Position the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth directly in the center and open your mouth wide. Jut out your jaw so that it is slightly forward. Step 4. Keep your tongue in position and breathe in again through your mouth to deepen the saliva pool. Step 5. Flex your tongue forward, keeping the tip locked to the roof of the mouth. The saliva should stream straight out or spray out in several directions. Did you know the medical term for dry mouth is xerostomia? The condition can lead to gingivitis, tooth decay, and mouth infections.
Yeah, dry mouth. Happy 420, everyone. All right, now listen. All right, so 7th grade, Hartford City Junior High School, Hartford City, Indiana. Walking down the hall, I feel something on my neck. I touch my neck. I'm like, what the heck? It's wet. I turn around, there's Jack McGillicuddy gleeking on me and everyone else. Next thing you know, the entire school's practically on a lockdown. Principal gets on the house. No more gleeking. Gleeking's bad. And I start talking about this years later in class like this. A girl, Heidi France. I don't know if you guys know Heidi France. She's Heidi Ream now. Gunner. They have a couple kids. She's like, I can gleek. I was like, show me. And it was amazing. Okay. It was like a missile coming out of her mouth. Like she could gleek on, like if it was Raven could, and it was Heidi's where Raven is, could gleek on Emma, like that far. It's unbelievable. And so I started touting around like everybody everyone needs to know that Heidi's the best bleaker that I've ever seen in my life. And then someone said, oh, you haven't seen Fat Jesus bleak. And I was like, what? And I'm like, there's like, no, you got to get Fat Jesus in here. So there was this kid, I don't even know his real name. His name's Fat Jesus. He wasn't a student of mine, but he went here and we brought him in. Okay, so Fat Jesus and Heidi had a gleek off. I'll never forget. I got to show you this back here. So it was at this table. Okay, and I kid you not, it was actually right here, but I'll stand here for an example. I made them stand behind their desk. I thought this would be a perfect place to measure. Okay, they stood here and could not lean over, and they gleeked. Okay, Heidi went and I marked it with a piece of tape and where it was. And then I did Fat Jesus. I said, Fat Jesus, you go. He barely beat her. Fat Jesus was the winner. It was crazy. But I kid you not, the gleek, I wish I would have taken like a knife and etched it in this table because it was so epic. I've never seen anyone gleek better than Fat Jesus in my life. Okay, and by the way, he looked nothing like Jesus. I have no idea why. He was bald. He was a bigger guy, but that was his nickname, Fat Jesus. Okay, so this morning, I'm telling the story, and the kids in first period, I don't know why, but none of them believed me. They're like, that did not happen. There was not a kid here named Fat Jesus. So I got on the IG. I sent Heidi a message. I said, hey, it's Jabin. We're talking about gleeking. Give me a call ASAP. They don't believe me. So I thought, oh, she's never called me. Like 5 minutes later, she calls me back. She then says, I go, Heidi, make sure, tell everybody that we did not plan this. She goes, we did not plan this. And then she's like, it was me and Fat Jesus. And everybody's like, whoa, it's true. Okay, so if you see Fat Jesus in town, he's the winner. He's a big guy. Anyways, he's Fat Jesus. We produce, get this, a liter of saliva a day. A liter, much like the liter of Coca-Cola in your fridge right now, right? A liter of saliva. Most of it's water, okay? But look at this. About 0.02% is this. What's that mean, folks? Nobody? This right here? Huh? Nobody knows? Nobody knows this term? Think about it. Some of you were smiling. What do you got there, Briner? What do you think this is? Little urine. You all have, that's a main component of like the waste, like urine's mostly water too, but urea is the waste product. That's how it gets its name, right? Urine. Okay, so literally a little bit of your saliva is pee. You know what that means? That means that every single one of us in here are all potty mouths.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. You're all dead. You're all dead. Okay? But really though, isn't that crazy? Now look, nobody's gotten this today. I'm crossing my fingers here. Okay, mostly water, but look at this. There's some proteins in there, and this is a big one. Does anybody remember what these 3 letters mean? Somebody earlier said, is that DNA? I'm like, no, it's IgA. They share an A. Okay, but this is tough. I mentioned it. I showed you a picture. We talked about it. I did a dad joke that day, and I said, we got IgA, we got IgG, we got IgG what? Remember that joke? Remember the joke there? Okay, but what were we talking about?
I remember the joke, but I don't remember the context.
It's all right. Those are antibodies, folks. You literally have antibodies in your mouth. So saliva is a weird thing. Saliva, yeah, I can get like, I'm making out with somebody, I could get mono, I could get COVID, I could get the cold, I could get the flu, but also there's some good benefits too. You're getting someone else's antibodies. So French kissing, folks, isn't all that bad. Okay, even though spit is really weird. I highly recommend a book, and I wish I still had it. I don't know where it went, and it's totally bumming me out. It's called Gulp. I know Greta's got a copy. I gave it to somebody a while ago, and it never came back. But Gulp is all about, I wonder if it's up here. I don't think it is. But Gulp is all about the digestive system. There's a whole chapter on saliva, and it is fascinating. Okay, I highly recommend it. Okay, so How do we control it? It's a part of our anus. Our anus controls our saliva, okay, autonomic nervous system. Okay, how many of you know the name Pavlov? Okay, all right, Pavlov, what goes with Pavlov? His dog, right? So here's what this psychologist did. He had a dog, he fed the dog, but he rang a bell, right? So he had some food, he rang a bell, dog salivated, dog ate. Gave the dog food, rang a bell, dog ate, salivated, right? Same thing every day, every day. Then he started just ringing the bell. Guess what happened to the dog? Started salivating because it was conditioned. This is if you take psychology, this is the classic operant conditioning, right? Okay, just like you guys in this room. Okay, you're all conditioned. Here in about 20 minutes, the bell's gonna ring and you're gonna get up. You're gonna go to your next class. And you're gonna sit there and learn. Time to eat. Right? That's it, right? Nobody just sits there like, I really like this class. I'm not going there. Okay, right? That's conditioning though. Okay, and that's what happens. Okay, the salivation is a little bit of stimulus, but how does it happen? There's no food. Okay, the dog salivate because he thought he was getting food. It's a weird part of that autonomic nervous system. Just the thought of food will cause you salivate. And just talking about food right now is making me salivate. Okay, if I ask you to start thinking about like sucking on a lemon, you will salivate. Okay, before COVID, actually, my kid threw up once and that kind of shut things down. Okay, I used to give people a saltine cracker. I said, here's your cracker at first, like right when the bell rang. I was like, put it in your mouth and chew it. Okay, chew it and then keep it in your mouth the entire period. Okay, right? But keep chewing it every once in a while, and it would turn to. Have you ever done this? It turns to liquid, right? Then all those sugars gets broken down by your saliva to the point where you can swish it through your teeth. That's kind of gross, but you can do it. Okay, we did this, and then a kid threw up, and it was all over. Yeah.
During cross country, I usually chew gum just to I have sugar problems. I'm not diabetic yet. But
You making fun of people? Is that
no?
okay? All right,
No,
just
no.
making sure.
And so I have
Not
gum.
yet, by the way, too. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not diabetic yet. But so I have gum, and then by the end of the race, I can swish it
Oh yeah.
with my front teeth. Yeah.
And then, yeah. Saliva will break down gum.
Yeah.
Especially if you just leave it there. You're not chewing it while you're running.
Yeah,
You put it
I
like the
forget
side of
it
your
there.
mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. By the way, somebody this morning I was on the TikTok and there was this doctor on there and she had made these poops out of, this is just kind of random, totally true, I'm not making this up, had made these poops out of Play-Doh, and she was describing the different shapes, but then she was like, how long does your food like stay in your body before it comes out? Then she was talking about 24 hours, but she's like, here's a fun experiment. If you want to see like how long it takes for your food to go in your mouth and then come out your butt, she said, eat some corn, don't chew it up, and then look for it. Okay, the other way you could do is, swallow some gum, though it'll be there for 7 years, right? So, it'll be out 24 hours. Why don't you know? Well, you're not searching through your poop. Maybe you can the reason why you see the corn is that usually there's a lot of it, okay, or it floats, right? The floating part is key. A lot of times the gum is buried inside. Yeah, so if you want to poop and then tear it apart, in about 24, 48 hours, you'll find that gum. It'll be there. All right, that's all I got as far as that's concerned. But I want to show you something real quick, and then we'll stop. Did you see? I couldn't remember if you saw this at this stage. Had they fixed it? Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that you're all with me on this. In that, the title has to be the big. Oh, they fixed it. Okay, good. The title has to. This looks much better. See how this is? Okay, the title's big. They've got the authors. Now they fixed that this is Zimbabwe. This is much better than it was yesterday. Okay, they've got the picture. I'm going to tell them to maybe find another picture right here. Another chart would be fine. But this is getting close to being almost done. Okay. Any questions about? Yes.
So when we put the names, we
Yeah.
put our names or
Their names, because remember you wrote the paper. Okay, so pick the top 3 people. Okay, top 3 people. If you only have 2 people in a group, pick the top 2. Now, one group had 2 authors and they had 4 people. So they had to they decided to make up some names. That's fine. Whatever you want to do. But one paper had like 17 authors, you know, so just pick the top 3. Y'all with me on this? Any questions about anything? Thanks for being cool today. I appreciate your listening. And Ethan and Cody, I want to talk to you guys. Hope